Hey, it's Deanna. Well, I'm Worthy Life. Anyway, I just want to have a video this time instead of writing out my blog. My hand is still, I had hand surgery or thumb surgery. I had a cyst on my thumb last week and had it removed, so it makes it harder to type. So I thought I'd try a video instead. So today, what I wanted to talk to you about is, as I shared with you last week, it is November is National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And I shared with you my journey as a caregiver last Thursday. And today I want to share with you a book that was sent to me. It is called The Conscious Caregiver, A Mindful Approach to Caring for Your Loved One Without Losing Yourself. I think this book is so important. The reason I think it's so important is because it gives you different exercises on how to not lose yourself as you take care of somebody else. There's a quote in this book that I love. It says, "There are only 4 kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who are currently caregivers, and those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregivers." That's by Rosalind Carter, First Lady of the United States and President of the Rosalind Carter Institute for Caregiving. So, caregiving can be really tough at times, but so rewarding. In this book, Linda Abbott, that's the author, Linda Abbott, Abbit, and I'll link this in my blog, and so that you'll be able to order this book. So Linda was a caregiver for her parents for more than 10 years. So she has a lot of experience. She also worked in elder care management also. Some of the things that she covers in the book is how can I practice self-care? And she has different exercises in the book. And I've already written a topic on self-care, which I will link that also in this post. How important self-care is to your health. And if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of others? So anyway, the other thing she says is, how do I know if I should move my loved one from his or her home, and when is the right time? That's a hard question and can be very difficult for some people. So she kind of gives you different ideas. There's different case studies that you can read and great examples. How do I deal with the guilt and sadness I feel? And there is guilt and there is sadness during this process as a caregiver. Sometimes I feel guilty when I'm going to the beach and leaving John, my stepfather, in Birmingham. Guilt is part of it. I try not to feel guilty because I know that I have to take care of myself in order to be able to be the best caregiver I can to him. So I've tried to really let go of that guilt and make sure I have systems in place that when I am out of town, that I don't have to worry about it. How can I use mindful communication to talk with my loved one about sensitive topics? Well, that's a good one. There are a lot of sensitive topics to talk about with somebody going through this disease. One sensitive topic is always the car and taking the keys away. Sometimes it works out fine, sometimes not so fine. Luckily, with my stepfather, it was not as bad as it could have been. He had to go in the hospital, and when he came out of the hospital, I just told him that he wouldn't be able to drive anymore because the doctor didn't want him driving because of the medication he was on. He questioned me and asked me if maybe he could earn it back at some point, and I just said we'll just see. We'll kind of see how it goes. And pretty soon he dropped the subject. He doesn't bring it back up. If it does come back up, again, I'll just tell him that we just take one day at a time. Mindful answers, really thinking through things and try not to react. I think is very helpful, and Linda talks about that in this book. What is hospice and what does this service provide? Luckily, I don't know about that part of it yet. And I don't really want to know about that part, but it's something I will need to know about. So I will find out and talk to other people because it is an important part of all of this. And it's a sad part, but it is inevitable. So I'm glad she brings that topic up. And the last one is, what do I do after caregiving ends? And to me, that seems so difficult to even think about because it makes me sad. I enjoy spending so much time with my stepfather, and I feel so lucky to get to spend time with him. And it will be sad um, when he's not around. And I spend a lot of time with him, so I don't know what I'll do with that time. So that's something that um, we all have to think about as caregivers. My husband said the other day, it's like, this is like a full-time job. And it is. I enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It's kind of like raising children. It is a full-time job, and there are difficulties along the way, but the reward is so rewarding. So worth it. And so, but the biggest thing I can tell you is to be a good caregiver, you have to take care of yourself. And reading good books, and getting plugged into the right group of people, support groups, people that are going through it, have been through it. There's Facebook groups. There's all kinds of things out there. Like I said, I'm gonna link this book in my blog, and some other things that I think that might be helpful. And always feel free to reach out to me by email or leave comments, and let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you like video or not. If you'd rather read or listen. Okay, see y'all later. Bye.